Real quick, I want you to do something for me. Just stop for a second. Why are you here? Like, not here watching this video. I mean here, on this planet, living this life. Does any of this actually mean something? Or are we all just vibing until we're not? If that question just hit different, congrats. You've already started doing philosophy. What's up, guys? Welcome to Philosophy Simplified, the channel where we take the biggest, most mind-bending questions in human history and break them all the way down. No fluff, no gatekeeping, just the good stuff. Today's video, what even is philosophy? And why should you, in 2026, with access to literally everything on the internet, actually care? Stick around. This one's gonna hit. Okay, so here's the thing. Most people hear the word philosophy, and their brain goes, oh God, that's like old dudes in robes arguing about stuff that doesn't matter. And I get it. That's low-key how it was taught to most of us. But that take is dead wrong, and I'm gonna prove it to you today. The word philosophy comes from Greek. Philo means love. Sophia means wisdom. So literally, it just means the love of wisdom. That's it. That's the whole vibe. Philosophy is what happens when you refuse to stop asking why. When just knowing something isn't enough, you want to understand it. Like, actually understand it. You ever been lying in bed at 2 a.m. spiraling? Like, do I actually have free will? Or was everything I've ever done basically already decided? Or, what even is consciousness? Like, why does anything feel like anything? Bro, that's philosophy. You've been doing it your whole life. You just didn't have the word for it. Now, philosophy is huge, but it breaks down into 3 main lanes. Lane 1, metaphysics. This is the big what is reality stuff. Does God exist? Do we have free will? What even is time? Heavy hitters. Lane 2, epistemology. This one's about knowledge. How do we actually know anything? Like, are your senses even reliable? Can you trust what you think is true? Lane 3, ethics. This is the how should we live lane. What's right and wrong? What makes someone a good person? When is it okay to lie? We're gonna go deep on all of these in future videos. But for now, just know this: philosophy is just the art of thinking carefully. And that is a skill you can actually use. But here's the thing, none of this started in a classroom. It started on a street corner, with one very annoying dude. Alright, let's rewind. About 2,500 years back. Ancient Greece. And there's this dude, Socrates. No army, no money, not even a blue check mark. Just a guy walking around Athens asking people questions. And not easy questions either. He'd walk up to some hotshot politician and go, hey man, you say you know what justice is, but do you actually know? Like, can you define it? And when they'd try to answer, he'd poke holes in everything they said. Respectfully, logically, mercilessly. People hated it. The powerful people especially, because he was basically exposing in public that they didn't actually know what they thought they knew. And here's the wild part. Athens put him on trial. They gave him the death penalty for asking questions. Think about that for a second. A man was executed not for violence, not for theft, but because his questions were too dangerous. That tells you everything about how powerful philosophy can be. His student Plato took those ideas and built actual systems. Plato's student Aristotle said, cool systems, but let's also observe the real world. Between the 3 of them, they laid the foundation that basically all of Western thought is still built on. And look, philosophy isn't just a Western thing. That's a misconception we need to squash. In India, you had thinkers like Buddha, whose entire teaching was a philosophical system about suffering, its causes, and how to get out of it. You had Chanakya, basically a political philosopher ahead of his time. In China, Confucius was building entire ethical frameworks for how society should function. This stuff, it's universal. It's human. This is where I know some of y'all are like, bro, okay, cool history lesson, but I got bills to pay and a life to live. Why should I care? Fair. Super fair. So let's get into it for real. Reason number 1, better decisions. Every single day you're making calls. Big ones, small ones. Which job to take. Whether to trust someone. How to handle conflict. What to do when the right choice and the easy choice aren't the same thing. Philosophy, especially ethics, gives you a framework for that. Instead of just going with your gut every time, or doing whatever everyone else is doing, you learn to actually reason through stuff. You develop your own compass. That's low-key one of the most valuable things a person can have. Reason number 2, you will not get played. We live in an era where everyone is trying to sell you something. A product, an ideology, a vibe, a truth. Social media is basically an industrial complex of manipulation. Algorithms are designed to keep you emotionally activated and intellectually uncritical. Epistemology, the philosophy of knowledge, teaches you to ask, wait, how does this person actually know that? What's their evidence? What's their incentive? Am I being played right now? In 2026, critical thinking isn't a bonus skill. It's survival gear. Reason number 3, the whole meaning of life thing is not a joke. A lot of people, especially in their 20s and 30s, feel this weird thing where everything seems fine on paper. You got a job, maybe friends, food, Netflix, but something still feels off. Like you're going through the motions, but you don't really know why. Existential philosophy goes straight at that. Albert Camus, one of my favorites, basically said, life doesn't come preloaded with a meaning. And that's not depressing. That's actually the most freeing thing ever, because it means you get to decide what matters. You're not stuck in someone else's script. And honestly, that's the most punk rock thing any philosopher has ever said. And the Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, these guys figured out over 2,000 years ago that the key to not losing your mind is focusing only on what you can control and genuinely letting go of the rest. Y'all, that's literally what therapists teach in CBT sessions today. The Stoics had that figured out before electricity existed. That's crazy to me. Reason number 4. The biggest questions of our generation are philosophy questions. Is AI conscious? Should robots have rights? Is it ethical to collect people's data without them fully understanding it? What happens to human purpose if machines can do everything better? These aren't sci-fi questions anymore. These are right-now questions. And if philosophers aren't at the table when these decisions get made, it's just going to be engineers and executives deciding alone, without any ethical framework. So no, philosophy isn't some dusty, irrelevant subject. Philosophy might be the most relevant thing you can study right now. No cap. Before we wrap, I know exactly what some of you are thinking right now. So let's just kill these myths real quick. Myth 1. Philosophy is for out-of-touch academics. Nah, philosophy is for anyone who thinks, which is hopefully all of us. Most people already philosophize. They just don't realize it. Myth 2. Philosophy never gives you any answers. It's just questions forever. Okay, this one's partially true, but it's missing the point. The goal of philosophy isn't to hand you an answer key. It's to make you better at thinking through hard problems yourself. A GPS doesn't drive the car for you. It helps you navigate. Philosophy is the GPS for your brain. Myth 3. There's no money in philosophy. It's impractical. Here's the wild stat people don't know. Philosophy majors consistently score among the highest on the LSAT and GRE. Law firms, consulting companies, tech ethics boards, they want people who can think clearly and argue well. That's literally what philosophy trains you to do. But honestly, we're not here to study philosophy for a resume line. We're here because a life where you actually understand what you believe and why you believe it, and where you've wrestled with the hard questions instead of just ignoring them, that life is just richer, fuller, more yours. And that's worth something that doesn't fit on a resume. Okay, so here's the quick summary of everything we covered today. Philosophy just means the love of wisdom. It's the art of thinking carefully about reality, about knowledge, about how to live. It's not some ancient relic. Socrates got executed for it, so clearly it had power then. And today, with AI, with misinformation, with a generation trying to figure out what actually matters, it has more power than ever. Honestly, I think one of the biggest gaps in our education system is that nobody teaches us how to think. Not what to think, how to question, how to reason, how to sit with uncertainty without freaking out. That's what this channel is for. No gatekeeping, no pretentious jargon, just the ideas stripped down, made real, made useful. If you're feeling this, go ahead and subscribe to Philosophy Simplified. It genuinely helps the channel grow, and it means I get to keep making these. And drop a comment. I actually read them all. Tell me, what's the philosophical question that lives rent-free in your head? Could be anything. No wrong answers here. Next video we're going deep on Socrates, the man who never wrote a single word, never held any office, never had any power, and somehow changed the entire trajectory of human thought. That story is wild, and I cannot wait to tell it. Alright, that's a wrap for today. Stay curious. Question everything. I'll see you in the next one.